Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my April TBR. I can't believe it's already April, but I'm so excited because I love spring. It means that I get to read outside, spend more time outside. And after the long winter that we had here, I'm very much looking forward to that. Today, like the past few months, I'm going to be using my TBR prompt jar to pick out my books I'm going to read in April. I think I'm going to pick 6 or 7 depending on the size of the books I pick. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, I didn't take out the prompts from last time, which I feel like I should have. So if I get one from last time, I'll just put it back and pick a new one. But the first prompt has a number in the title. Let me see if I have any on my bookshelf. I was gonna look at books that are on my TBR but not on my physical TBR, but I realized that I have this book, One Dark Window, which obviously 1 is a number in the cover, and then 2 Twisted Crowns if I end up liking this one. But I'm gonna choose this for my book with a number. This is a fantasy, possibly with a little bit of romance. I'm not totally sure what it's about, but looks like a pretty quick read, and I've heard some really good things about it, so I'm excited to read this one. Next prompt has a suspenseful title, and I know exactly which one I'm gonna pick. This book is called The Wager, a tale of shipwreck, mutiny, and murder, and I feel like even the cover is suspenseful. I've had this on my TBR for a while. I think this was the Barnes & Noble author of last year, and I've heard such good things, and it seems like a nonfiction story that's told in a really like compelling, exciting way, and I just keep looking at it on my bookshelf. It's so pretty, and so I've been really wanting to read this. I was hoping to find a prompt to use on this book for this month, so excited to add The Wager. Read a book with a setting in the future. For this prompt, I'm going to pick The Martian. I just bought this book a month or so ago, and I am super excited to read it. I love watching movies about space, even though it simultaneously really freaks me out. But I've heard such good things about this book, and I don't think I've actually seen this movie. So now I'll get to read the book and watch the movie. And this is about a man who was the first person on Mars, so that is set in the future. The next prompt I picked is a freebie, so we're gonna hang on to this one until the end, and then I will pick a book after I picked my other books. So that was prompt 4. We'll come back to it. Okay, next prompt is read a book by a female author. I obviously have lots of options for this, so I'm gonna look at what's on my top TBR for this year and what's on my spring TBR and see if anything is like calling my name. I feel like my bookshelf is definitely half and half male and female authors. Also, I've been cruising through my top TBR for 2024, so I have like this little tracker in my bullet journal that I get to cross off every time I read one of those books, so that's been helping me get through it for sure. Okay, I know what I'm gonna choose. It's not a book off of my physical TBR. I'm gonna have to get it out of the library, but I've been wanting sort of like a very fast-paced mystery thriller read, so I'm gonna choose The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I have not read this yet, and I've heard that it's like one of the easiest books to read, like super fast, so I'm really excited about it. I already have it on hold, so hopefully it comes in pretty soon, and I'll be able to read it in April. So that's my book by female author. I've never read any Frida McFadden. I feel like I gotta hop on the train. Okay, next prompt is childhood favorite book, and this is a little bit of a hint to a video that's hopefully coming out next month. So the book that I'm going to be choosing is Charlotte's Web. This is the first chapter book that I ever read. I have a very vivid memory of sitting underneath my desk as like a 6-year-old finishing this book, and this is the same copy, as you can tell it's very loved, that I was reading when I was 6. This was from my grandma when she used to teach English in elementary school, and I love this book so much. I've probably read it 5 or 6 times just because it holds such a special place in my heart. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this one. So I'm glad I picked that prompt. That's perfect for what I'm doing this month. Okay, I've got 5 books. I still have a freebie prompt, so I'm going to pick one more prompt and then I will pick my freebie prompt. I've been wanting to get this prompt. Okay, this one is a book picked out by my boyfriend. So I'm going to call him in and see if he will pick a book out for me. Got my trusty book selector here. Will you please pick a book for me to read?
Can it be any book?
It can be any book. It can be these books too.
Can it be any of the books on my shelf?
It technically can be. These are the books that I've already picked, and I also picked House Made by Frida McFadden, which is a mystery thriller.
I was trying to think of if there are any books that I've read that I've been trying to get you to read. This is the perfect time. God, this is so difficult. We have too many good books.
I know, right? Or you could pick a book that you would think that I would like.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is a game inside of a game. I like both of these books a lot. So I think either of them will be good. Left or right?
Left. Okay, guys. The book that Elijah picked for me is called Multiplication is for White People, Raising Expectations for Other People's Children by Lisa Delpit. And now you can tell my fans what this book is all about.
It's a nonfiction book that talks about the like changing the paradigm when thinking about like educational reform in the United States and understanding like the history of how we've catered education to different groups of people and how we've left certain generations and certain groups of people behind in our educational community. It was a really integral to my undergraduate career, and it's one of my favorite books that I've taken away with me from school.
Cool. And guys, check it out. It's all annotated and
not all those are mine,
flagged and everything. I don't know if you guys can see, but it has a cool little embossing for Elijah's name. Thanks, honey. Oh! Well, guys, now we've made it to the end, and I have my free space prompt, and I'm between 2 books. I don't know which one to choose. Should I just put them both on my TBR? My happy helper, Elijah's still here and said that I should put both of these on my TBR. So, this month's TBR, which does not include The House Made by Frida McFadden, which is part of it, is A Man Called O by Frederick Bachman, Bewilderment by Richard Powers, Multiplication is for White People, Raising Expectations for Other People's Children by Lisa Delpit, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White, The Martian by Andy Weir, One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder by David Gran. Definitely have a color scheme going on here. That is all for today's video. Thank you for sticking around while I picked out my April TBR. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'll be posting my March wrap-up very soon, so you'll get to see all the books I read in March. Bye, guys!